Welcome back to the DFS Special. I'm your host, your DFS Jerusalem, coming to you live from the list. You got 150 entries, and then you're a shark, and I don't fuck with you. So there's too much good shit on here. This is the often imitated, never duplicated. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy. I may have been calling in to work. You're gonna be in the running for the Snowflake of the Year. Get your shit together with your snowflake. I'm at the crib, man, and I'm just finishing up. Stop. Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. This is what's really gonna help you out. I know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that? Scoring all them points over there. Player of the night.
Get them in your lineups. Get them in there. And let's go get this money.
Thursday, let's go, and remember, in the sweatshop, we always keep it 300. Yo, what's going on? What's happening? Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop, where I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and of course you can follow me on Twitter as you see here at DFS Jerusalem. Today we're gonna be talking about this upcoming week. We know, jumping off, we've got a really big 11-game slate, really solid NBA stuff going on the first day of the week. Then we're gonna talk about the rest of the week, and we're not gonna spend too much time looking behind this because I'm glad to get that week over. NFL was so great to me this weekend, man. I was reeling from NBA, because last week NBA, I mean, I fell victim to every ejection, every injury, every foul out, like everything that could have happened, everything that happened bad to players last week were guys that I were on, and hopefully I got that out of my system, and we can go on and have another great week, man. Because see, the funny, I killed it the week before that, but this past week, man, was just bad, and just so happened, our NFL lines were fire. Yo, shout out to everybody that made it to the VIP chop up, the lineup builder show that we did inside the VIP last night, bro. If you were there, those lines were fire. Those lines were fire. If you were in there last night, then that was dope. I think the best line that I had finished around what was it? Let's take a look. Go see. I think the best lineup that I had finished at about 180, something like that. But I was consistent, man, between 150 and 180. This is like 15 lineups that we rolled out. So that was dope, man. I was really happy with that. Where we at? Let's check it out. Well, that's my NBA joints. Yeah, man, 180, 152. 167, 169. These are some fire lines. 163. Like there was some fire lines, man, that we rolled out last night. So that was real dope. Very happy to be a part of that and to help you guys in any way that I can. So, like I said, got a lot of what spent last week back during football. So I'm pretty happy about that. We do have a really nice 11-game slate to talk about. But first, let's talk about what we can look forward to throughout the entirety of the week. Of course, Monday, we've got that 11 games today. Then Tuesday, we're going down to 3 games, which I don't really love that. I really don't. I wish they have at least 5 games, at least. But we got 3 games Tuesday. Then Wednesday, really nice slate of games. We got 10 popping off there. You've got Cleveland at the crib with Sacramento going there. We've got Indiana at the crib against the Bulls. Should be a nice one for Vic Oladipo there. Then we've got the Golden State Warriors going to Charlotte. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's a very good chance, I might can guilt trip the wife into letting me roll out to this game. So it's not I haven't seen the Dubs live before. This game is in Charlotte, right up the road. If you, don't count it robbery if you catch your boy out there. Plus, it's the ESPN game, nationally televised joint. I might try to do something to make that happen. So then Thursday, we've got 4 games, small slate, but it's still doable. You got that the Lakers Philadelphia joint, which probably should be a nice one. Then you've got really up tempo a couple of teams in Oklahoma City Thunder and the Brooklyn Nets. Then on Friday, I think it's another big slate. We've got 8 games. That's pretty much right around my wheelhouse. That's right where I want to be. So that's pretty good. Then we got the Bulls and the Hornets. Okay, so I might take the discount and go to the Bulls game at the Bulls Hornets game. That'd be a little cheaper. Then Saturday, of course, we got topsy-turvy Saturday because we got those 2 earlier games, the 3:30, then the 6, and then 7 o'clock. We've got I think 7 games jumping off for that Saturday, and then we're gonna close it out Sunday with another one where it's gonna be like an all over the place type slate where we do have 6 games. So this is gonna be a good week, man. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a very good week for us here in the sweatshop. As long as we continue to do what we've been doing, that is work together and put our heads together, come up with the best plays possible, we should be all right. So let's go ahead, jump into it. Big shout out to RotoQL. This is my favorite optimization feature, my favorite DFS tool. I use it for everything, MLB, NBA, everything that I do. I use it. It's really solid. Let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to be taking a look from a DraftKings perspective. Oh, really quick, just want to throw this out there, man. Yo, shout out to the homie Dan Denning, man. This is a guy, one of the newer members in the shop, man, a new brother that we've taken on. A guy that was, figuring things out and just wanted to have a DFS home, so he joined us, and just automatically, not only is he figuring things out, but he's sharing tips and strategies that he's learning along the way. And this is what the sweatshop is all about. This is why this thing started. And I'm going to show you. Dan says, I think I finally figured out how to play. He says, now I would like to share this advice to all the beginners out there. Because I'm going to tell you, when you come into the group, if you've been in our group for a week, the most important guy in our group is the newest guy. The most important guy in our group is the newest guy. So if you've been in our group for a week and a guy comes in, you automatically feel drawn to helping that newer guy. And that's why this is so special. That's why if I just walk away from this thing, it will still run itself because it's run by the people. This is true government right here, right? So he says to build your bankroll. This is about building a bankroll. And I gotta tend to agree with this. He says play small 50-50s, less than 75 people, as well as triple-ups, less than 35 people. Play twice as much 50-50s as you do the triple-ups. Stay away from the large-scale tournaments altogether until you are at a comfortable bankroll. 250 or 260 will cash in most of these contests. Obviously, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose sometimes. So use your bankroll management. All right, guys, you don't need 300 every day. With the information provided by this group as well as other cats on YouTube, the nightly videos, you have a better chance to become a better player. Don't get fooled by single entry tournaments. You won't win enough in the long run for it to be worth it, at least in the beginning. I thought I would be bored by just doubling and tripling my buy-in. Trust me, this was not the case. Just play optimal lineups. GPP and your cash lineup should be the same until you are much more advanced. Don't add confusion. Just play the best players, and also stick with making one lineup a day, then play it in different contests. And this is dope information from a guy that just joined the group, man. This is dope information from a guy that just joined the group. Shout out to the homie Dan Denny, man. I thank you for not only figuring out something, taking your time to figure out and do your own research and study, but then it's immediately sharing that with the group. Like, that's what this is all about, man. And as you can see, this post is popular. Like, everybody is commenting. They're commenting on it right now. And that's just dope. And I love to see that, man. I love to see that. So let's go ahead, jump into a quick breakdown of the slate. This is going to be where we develop our initial player pool, where we discuss injuries, we discuss hot guys, cold guys, whatever it may be. One thing that we also want to do is we want to take a look at FanDuel and DraftKings, because we have been talking about this recently, where one site will kind of help you to put you on or take you off the other guys on the site due to their pricing. So what we're looking for is discrepancies in the pricing across both sites. We're looking for guys that are cheaper on FanDuel that are, well, first thing, the guys got to be in good spots. You know what I mean? We're looking for guys that are in the good spots that are cheaper on DraftKings. On FanDuel than they are on DraftKings. I can explain that and break that down to you why that's so important, but let's just jump right into it, okay? First game we got on the slate. It's gonna be a really good one. It's gonna be it's at the crib, and you know what time it is.
I've got hoes.
The homie Kimber is at the crib, taking on the Orlando Magic, going to Charlotte, take on the Hornets, man. I absolutely love this game. There's a good chance that Kimber may miss this spot. He's been dealing with that sore shoulder. let's open it up to take a look exactly what they're saying is Kemba's ailment. Okay, we've got. This was just updated about 8 minutes ago. Kemba Walker is officially listed as probable for Monday's game. He was sidelined the last couple of games because of a shoulder injury, but was able to go through full practice Sunday and without any issues should be back on the court today. And that's dope because anytime you get Kemba at the crib, especially against a team that is so bad against perimeter play, i.e. point guard play, in the Orlando Magic, man, I think that's definitely. I love to play Dwight Howard at home. 7.7, still a very good price on him. And Orlando is one of those teams that, actually was the first team that Dwight Howard played for. Is there a revenge narrative involved? Probably not. Probably not. But he has been one of those guys that plays well against former teams, no matter where they are, no matter if they're going to Houston, if they go. I think he is leaning towards not playing. Let's take a look at Frank Kaminsky here. I think his injury was a little bit more serious. I could be wrong. Let's check it out. All right, Kaminsky is dealing with the right foot sprain, but he's listed as probable for Monday. Okay, so he is probable. Okay, it's unclear exactly when Kaminsky suffered the injury. Though it's likely during Friday's matchup against Miami. He's only logged 16 minutes then, but still, is apparently nothing serious as Kaminsky is fully expected to take the court. Okay, cool. Okay, so we should have Kaminsky too. Okay, I would have a problem with that one. On the other side, the only guy that I could say that I am not going to play is Vucevic. I am a little worried about Aaron Gordon rebounding because in order to get those big Aaron Gordon games that we've been seeing so far this season, we're going to need a double-double from him. Can he get that with not only Dwight Howard on the court, but Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, who's a very decent rebounder? Can he get that? You know, with four guys on the court rebounding the basketball pretty well. You look at Kemba. You look at Dwight Howard. You look at Nick Batum. You look at MKG. Aaron Gordon as a rebounder. Maybe even Vucevic going to grab a couple. Can Aaron Gordon get that double-double in terms of rebounds? That's what you're going to need from him. But at 7.9 in this up and pace matchup, I am going to highlight him. I don't love him, but I'm going to highlight him. Elfrid Payton at 6K. I do like that. Of course, Evan Fournier at 5.5 does interest me. And without Terrence Ross, Jonathan Simmons has been seeing a fair amount of minutes. I'm talking 39, 33, 34. And he's been producing in a couple of those games. 27 against Golden State, 26 against Indiana. So maybe he's a guy that we might want to take a look at here. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Now, remember, it is an 11-game slate. You don't have to dig too deep and hit the dumpster in most spots. We can play a lot of the starters and the guys that we know are going to get a ton of minutes. But I've had to pick one guy from this game that I am like most assuredly going to be on. It would be Dwight Howard. It'd be Dwight Howard. The next game we got is going to be my New York Knicks. Going to Indiana to take on the Pacers here. Enes Kanter went the fuck off the other night. 16 and 18 boards, or 18 and 16 boards. So I definitely think he's a guy that's in play at 6.2, especially if we don't have Kristaps Porzingis. Michael Beasley, if he's going to get the start, he should be fairly chalky if he gets to start without Kristaps here. It has him as out because he was out yesterday, but we need to make sure. Okay, his estimated return is on the 6th. So he should be out. And then, of course, we got Tim Hardaway Jr., who I didn't even know wasn't playing until right after lock. His estimated return is on the 6th as well. So we could see Kristaps and Tim Hardaway not even play. So this, we talk about this a lot, man. Whenever those key guys, those key players are out, the first thing we already want to do, being lazy, we want to jump on the value. Oh my God. Kristaps is out. You got to load up on Michael Beasley. And while that does make sense, I do understand that. I know that you want to pay down to a cheap starter in order to pay up to the stud that you want. I get it. It makes sense. But that's not the way I want you to do it. I want you to do it in a 3-part process, okay? Whenever you got a big injury, like the first thing I want you to do is see how that benefits the starters that's already on the floor. That's from the team that the guys are going to be playing with. I want you to you see what I'm saying? How does Kristaps Porzingis and the homie being out tomorrow and THJ being out tomorrow? How does that benefit Enes Kanter? How does that benefit Courtney Lee? How does that benefit maybe Jarrett Jack? I want you to look at that first. Then I want you to look at how that benefits the other side. How does that benefit Vic Oladipo? Does that give him a clearer path to the basket with no Tim Hardaway Jr. in front of him, who's a fairly decent defender? Like how does no Kristaps benefit Miles Turner? Does that mean Miles Turner doesn't have to step away from the basket to defend a three-point shot? He can spend more time in the low block, making money down there. Look at that next. Then I want you to look at how the replacements can do. You know, well, what about Michael Beasley? Well, what about Kyle O'Quinn, who's probably going to be stepping in? Okay, that's the three-part process I want you to use whenever you've got key guys that are going to be out in terms of out because of injuries. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. Michael Beasley, he's very cheap, 3.5. That is going to put him in play, and it's going to be a fairly chalky play in my opinion. I think a lot of people are going to want to play him. I'm going to have a limited exposure to him, but I think he's definitely going to be a play. Kyle O'Quinn is another guy. Is going to be overwhelming chalk at 4.2. You're going to have to look at him as well. Dougie McBuckets at 3.3 looks to be usable here. Whenever you don't have THJ, they're going to look for that scoring punch to come from somewhere, and it could very well come from Dougie McBuckets. Then you got Frank Nitti at 3.5, who I think could be usable as well. On the other side, Vic Oladipo is 8.7. Yo, I hate the price on Vic on FanDuel. He's like 9.2 on FanDuel. But anything, and I said to myself, after that last game he had, when he dropped to 60+, I said anytime I can get, if I can get Depot in a good matchup under 9K, I'm going to play him. And that's exactly what this is, man. No THJ. This game doesn't have to blow out. It doesn't have to blow out. So I think, and if it does, I mean, that means guys like Vic Oladipo probably made money. So 8.7 for him is a good price. I absolutely love Darren Collison here at 5.7. He's looking like an early core play. Thad Young at 5.6 looks to be usable. And, of course, Miles Turner is going to be playable at 6.1. I like those guys a lot. And then I want to look at Lance Stevenson. The price is up to 4.5. I don't have to play him there. I really don't. The next game we got is going to be the Phoenix Suns going to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. We've got a 227-point total here with the Suns being an underdog, man, a road dog, 10.5 points of what they're giving up. And I can just tell you right now, D-Book at 7.8 is a play that I definitely like here. Definitely I like here. We look at Joel Embiid at 9.8. Yes to that. I think Ben Simmons is also in play at 9.8. Remember, there was a certain part in the season, man, and now we would just target the Phoenix Suns in a lot of different spots, and I think this is no different. We've got Dario Saric at 5.6, and let's just say this game doesn't blow out, bro. And the only way this game really does blow out is if Covington is hitting if Covington and Redick are shooting like lights out from 3-point, then the game blows out. If they don't, then the game is probably not going to blow out. That's just the truth of what we see from them. So we do know that Okafor should not play. T.J. McConnell is going to be out. That will increase some minutes off of the bench for Jared Bayless. Really solid value play, in my opinion, at 3.4. Redick at 5.3. Yeah, that dude's in play. He's in play. He's in play. And pretty much everybody's in fucking play against Phoenix. But I don't want you to shy away from this, though. I don't want you to look at this and say, oh, this game's going to blow out, so I can't play anybody. Because that's just not the case. I don't think that's the case. I mean, it's going to take a lot for Philadelphia to blow the doors off of Phoenix. And I don't mean like, you know, they're not a good team. They're not capable of doing it. I'm just saying, you know, it's going to take Robert Covington. It's going to take Robert Covington shooting lights out from 3, who's a very streaky guy. J.J. Redick doing the same thing. So I definitely could see this game staying just close enough to where we get some fourth quarter Ben Simmons, we get some fourth quarter Joel Embiid, and I wouldn't have an issue with playing either of those cats. Tyson Chandler at 4.3. I think that's usable, honestly. I do. I think that's usable. T.J. Warren at 6.7. I could see it, but I don't love it. And maybe some Tyler Ulis at 4.1 could get some play in that situation. The next game we got is going to be the Brooklyn Nets going to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Now, this game, I think these teams just played each other, man. And Dinwiddie got off, and I think he is again. I like Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie at 7K. The price is up a little bit, but he's usable. Easily usable. And we love to attack both of these teams. These are just two bad defensive teams. And right off the bat, the guys that are standing out to me, DeMar Carroll, RHJ, if he does play, at 5.7 looks to be usable. That puts an end to all of that Trevor Booker shit. Allen Crabbe coming back kind of puts an end to all the Joe Harris shit. So there's not a lot that we have to use on this side of the ball, especially on the bench. But Kent Bazemore 5.7 does look to be playable, as does Dennis Schroeder. Even though he's 8K, I still can get behind him. There's going to be no John Collins here So that's going to open the door for Ersan Ilyasova at 4.8. And that's as far as I can go. That's enough for me. I like the total. It's 217-point total with only a 2-point differential. The game's in Atlanta. I kind of like that. Next game we got is going to be Milwaukee Bucks going to Boston to take on the Celtics here. We got Giannis Antetokounmpo at 10-6, who I would say is automatically playable. One of my favorite studs on the slate. Easily love him in the spot. I think Eric Bledsoe could be in play at 6.7. Even though we've seen Boston limit point guards, especially at home, I can still get behind it. I think I can get behind it. Milwaukee matches up with Boston really well because they've got similar things Boston got. They have length on the perimeter in terms of defense. They've got one guy who just cannot be stopped, which is Giannis on this side, and then Kyrie on the other side. And they've got really deep and solid rotations. So, Giannis, Eric Bledsoe, perhaps some Chris Middleton could be in play. We love to attack Boston rebounding the basketball. This is going to put John Henson in play for me automatically at 4.6. On the other side, I do think I think this is a spot where I don't have to play Kyrie because Milwaukee they do limit point guards. They do limit point guards, but Kyrie at 8.5 is just cheap. He's just cheap and he's usable. Al Horford at 7.6. Don't really love him. Jason Tatum at 6K. I can play it. I can. But see, Tatum is probably going to be guarding Giannis, so that means he's going to be out there a ton, I think. Marcus Smart at 5.4 is a guy that I could use. I kind of like this game. Next game we got is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers going to Chicago to take on the Bulls. These teams played each other earlier in the year. Didn't Chicago just beat them in Cleveland? If I'm not mistaken, I think Chicago just beat them in Cleveland. And LeBron had like 64 against them. That's not going to happen. LeBron's going to stroke it. LeBron's going to crush them. This is a different team. They're on like a 12-game winning streak. Shout out to the homie K-Mac38, man. Much love to you, bro. So we got Kevin Love, 8.2. Yes, he is playable here. LeBron at 11.8. I don't really like LeBron in this matchup. I'm not predicting a blowout. I just don't really love it. But he's LeBron, so you can definitely look at him as a play. Jay Crowder is cheap at 3.7. Could be usable here. On the other side, Lauri Markkanen, no for me. Chris Dunn at 6.1. Yes, we have seen point guards, shooting guards get off some on the Bulls here, so that's going to put Justin Holiday in play. Maybe some Denzel Valentine at 5.4. Guys that I can use. The next game we got is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves going to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. Minnesota second leg of that back-to-back here. Ricky Reek, now 7.3. He went ham the other game out, scored 60 points. Don't see why there's any huge cause for concern that he won't make value at 7.3. I think we can use him, especially if he's coming off the bench and playing against that second team. Definitely. I mean, you match him up against Namia Bielitsa, and he's going to go ham. Marcus Gasol, 8.1, looks to be one of the more playable centers on the board easily. Karl Anthony Towns, don't really love him, but at 8.3, he could be in play. Jimmy Buckets at 6.9. I'd say he has 2 good games straight. Jimmy Buckets just dropped 50 last night. He could very well do the same thing here. Jeff Teague at 6.4. I can play him. Usually, I don't want to play point guards at the grindhouse, but with no Mike Conley, and they're not doing all that they should be doing to limit point guards here in the grindhouse. I'm talking about the Memphis Grizzlies, that is. So that's going to put Jeff Teague in play for me as well. And, of course, Taj Gibson at 5.9. No, I don't love him. I would rather play JaMychal Green at 4.7. I would rather just go cheaper at 4.7 for JaMychal Green. Next game we got is going to be the Golden State Warriors going to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. And these teams just played each other as well. We may not have Anthony Davis. And if there's no Anthony Davis, I think Boogie is going to be in play. If there's no Anthony Davis, let's take a look at his injury situation. Oh, he's out. Yep, he's out against the Warriors. So, Boogie, man, 11K. Oh, my God. Look how cheap KD is, though, at 9K. KD cheap at 9K. He looks good. 9.4 for Curry. I don't really love it, but I think you can play him, but I don't really love it. Yo, I think this really does a lot for Drew Holiday, though. Drew Holiday and Boogie, those are the guys that I like from the New Orleans Pelicans side. Zaza, no. Klay Thompson could be in play at 7K. I wouldn't have an issue there. Draymond, don't really love Draymond here. I don't like this game a lot, actually. I really don't. I mean, outside of KD and Klay, I don't really love it. Dr. Cunningham, Boogie, Drew Stack. Dr. Cunningham, because he's probably going to be getting the start at 3.3. Yeah, he's going to get the start. Yeah, I can see that. Next game we got is going to be the Denver Nuggets going to Los Angeles to take on the Lakers. We just saw these same teams play, and you got Will Barton at 6.9. Well, you know, Jokic should be out, of course. We already know Millsap's gone. Let's take a look at Jokic to see when his projected start date is back. Okay, he comes back 12-8. Okay, so, yeah, that's going to put definitely Will Barton here under 7K. He's going to be in play. The Plum Dog at 4.3. He's a guy that's going to be in play. I kind of like Gary Harris at 5.8. He's definitely usable. On the other side, Harrison Barnes at 6.6 jumps off to me, as does Dennis Smith Jr. I like Dennis Smith Jr. We've been waiting on a good game from DSJ, and I think this could be the spot, man. I kind of like him here. Even Dirk Nowitzki, man, at 4.7 looks to be usable here. I like him. I wouldn't have an issue there. Maybe some J.J. Barea at 4.6 as well, even though we got Devin Harris back, who's going to be stealing some minutes. And this Maxi Kleber guy, take a look at this dude, man. He's had a couple good games in a row. 14, 27, 11, 12, and 9.75 in his last 4. Take a look at him, though. He's very cheap. Jamal Murray at 5.1. Yeah, you can play Murray. You can play Murray. Well, let's just say you could try to stack them. Yeah, you can play Murray. Murray had a really nice one last time out. He had the game he was waiting for. He dropped 44.5 DraftKings points. So Murray's a guy I definitely think you would take a look at. Next game we got, it's going to be Detroit Pistons going to San Antonio taking on the Spurs. A ton of motherfuckers was out here. LaMarcus Aldridge, a day of rest. He should be back today. Who else? Kyle Anderson. There's a good chance Kyle Anderson may not play because he tweaked his knee last night and left the game. I think he only played like 16 minutes. Rudy Gay, I think he was out for a day of rest. He should be back. Yes, he should be back. And then Tony Parker was out for a day of rest. He should be back. So we don't know what the exact starting rotation is going to be here. But if LaMarcus Aldridge is playing, I can definitely get behind him at 8.3, certainly. Andre Drummond at 8.8, definitely I can get behind him as well. Tobias Harris, don't really love him. But Reggie Jackson at 5.9, don't love that one. I don't like a lot of this shit. This game, you can fade this shit. Paul at 5.5. Nah, you can fade this game. I don't like this game. DeJounte Murray 3.5. If he's starting, and you know what I'm saying? Because yeah. No, just Rondo. No, I never play Rondo. He is horrible. Last game on the slate is going to be the Washington Wizards going to Utah to take on the Jazz. Brad Beal, 7.4. Does look to be playable here. The big question of the day is Eric Burks still cheap as shit. Alec Burks. He is 4K. After 2 stellar performances in a row, the dude is still fairly cheap at 4K. Now, injuries provided. What a dude, okay, 35 and 51 and 22 in his last 3. That's an average of a lot. If the same thing happens, if no Rodney Hood, if there's no Raul Neto, then you can definitely fire up Alec Burks at 4K, definitely. Ricky Rubio at 5.5, don't really love that. Gobert is a game time decision here. That's going to change the skate. Okay, so Gobert could play. He took part in light practice Sunday and is now questionable for Monday's matchup versus the Wizards. Okay. He was originally given a timetable of 4 to 6 weeks on November 12th with a bone bruise in his right knee, but it appears progressing much quicker than expected for the recovery. It's been 3 weeks since then. He's already going through a light practice, though the exact details of the session remain unclear. I don't think he plays. I don't think he plays. I don't think Gobert plays. And if he does, I'm not playing him. Not coming off a bone bruise like that. Nah. Otto Porter, 6.6. Yes. Derek Favors still going to be in play for me at 6.7. Yes. I can get there. Markieff Morris, 4.7. He's still cheap and playable. I can use him in this spot. And that's it. This is another game I don't really love a lot of. Jeremy Lass says, you're missing out, man. Rondo coming off a 40 and a 38-point fantasy game. Yeah, I just never get around to clicking on Rondo. You know what I mean? I never get to clicking off Rondo. Let's take a look at him here. Against Golden State too? Nah. This ain't the matchup, baby. At 5K, nah. I don't like Rondo here. Let's take a look at his last few games though. Let's take a look. Yep, 40 against Utah, 38 against Portland, pedestrian against everybody else. I can't do it. I can't do it. Nah. So that's all 11 games, man. We've established an initial player pool, and what we're gonna do from here, man. 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna reconvene, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna jump into this group. We're gonna jump into this group, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop this all the way up, man. Look at the injuries. Look at what everybody else around the league in the industry is talking about. We're gonna take all that stuff together, man. Put it together, and we're gonna build some fire ass lineups and go out and win all the money. So if you want to be a part of that, it's very simple. You can go to this website. It is the dfssweatshop.com, www.dfssweatshop.com. Upon your paid subscription, you will be welcome into the very best Facebook group online. Here we go. And there's two options. You can do the $14.99 for monthly. That's the monthly reoccurring monthly subscription. It's 50 cents a day, half a cup of coffee, or you can go ahead and jump into our year-long package, our yearly package, where for a full calendar year, $119.99 gets you everything. And this is going to take you into baseball season. Yo, and spring training starts in a couple of months. So we are almost ready to get back on our baseball shit, too. We ran that shit, too. So much love to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody that is in the Sweatshop VIP. Thank you, all the gentlemen, for being there. Shout out to all of the YouTube fam. Let's go out. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it honest. And let's always keep it 300. Peace.